there's 4 valves in the heart, and they can fail in 2 ways. They can have restricted opening, or they can start leaking. And probably the most common valve disease that we see is aortic stenosis, when the aortic valve is not opening, and mitral regurgitation, when the mitral valve is leaking quite a bit.
And we're trying to look at a variety of different factors, including the original motivation for imaging the heart. These are diagnosed through cardiac images to help us both figure out which patients are being referred to these procedures, and also to try to develop an AI-based image analysis model to dig through these older imaging records and try to screen patients that were either misdiagnosed or incompletely diagnosed, depending on different flavors that these diseases come in.
We're very excited about this. I think it's extremely important. We enjoy the collaboration, and I think that moving forward, this is going to change, hopefully, the way we practice.
Having a local clinical partner right here in Baton Rouge really makes a huge difference. And Dr. Castellano specifically came here several years ago and helped to introduce some of these minimally invasive methods into clinical practice. And so it's really given us a much richer data set than we otherwise would have to see if we can personalize the right treatments for the right patients at the right time. That's really the overarching goal.